Sorry,
I don't
sorry.
I don't know what I'm doing. All right. This is like
It's
my
fine.
second time doing this. How do I do backgrounds? But yeah, like the whole thing, like once you start thinking about it, it falls apart. Like from like them being in a simulation and not being able to catch this girl, like you're in with essentially a video game. You don't have a guy that's like control alt
Yeah, just
replace.
let me just change the code. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I kind of understand what they were trying to do. It
I was
didn't
hoping there was
execute
like,
well.
oh, like because that twist is like no longer a twist. It's been done a million
Correct.
times. I was
Correct.
kind of hoping that there was like a different twist. Like,
And it was too Stepford Wivey.
yeah,
Like it was
or
yeah, too
I think it would
Stepford
probably
Wivey.
be better for me if they like played up what's her face's Olivia Wilde's character as her like no, like if she was a more prominent and like more like shadier. Does that make any sense? Because she was like, oh, I know. Like I know this whole entire time, and like this, I
Yeah.
like this place. And you're like, if she had
Yeah.
played that up more, then I might have like enjoyed it more because you're like, oh, she knew, and that's now that makes sense why she did this and did that and did this. But she was just like hanging out with her. That was it. She didn't like try to stop her from doing anything.
And like I feel like they completely wasted Gemma Chan.
Oh, completely wasted her.
Like
Completely just like might as well not even have cast her in the whole entire
why?
thing.
Yeah, like
Like she
she's
had two
such a
lines.
she had two lines. She was just there look pretty. I don't know. It and I kind of wanted her to be in charge of it, but I think that that's also back to the whole because it was so Stepford Wives. Like it was
Yeah.
so much like Stepford Wives
I
that
mean, it would have been cool if she was in charge of it because that would be a more interesting twist, or that her and Chris Pine are in it together, like because that would be cool.
yes.
Like, yeah, she's totally about this,
Yeah.
but like, oh, it totally all falls apart at the end when they're like all of a sudden they're even though nothing has changed for anybody else besides Florence Pugh, they all start like, wait a second, is this? And then she stabs him, and I'm like, why couldn't you have done that before? Like, what's going on?
And, and I
And this is
don't
also gonna suck is when they all wake up and they're chained to their beds.
they're going to be changing their beds. And the thing is like if they could have because apparently it's super expensive, right? It's
Yeah.
ungodly expensive to be in this simulation. For those of you joining, we're talking about Don't Worry, Darling.
Hey,
So sorry if
Aaron Crow, everybody. Aaron Crow.
oh, what's up? So
And Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
oh hey Sarah. So if he was so upset because she was working so many hours, you were working yourself to death, blah, blah. Well, he didn't have a job, bruh. And then you're going to tell me that you all of a sudden found a job that pays you enough money to enslave your wife and put her in a simulation.
Not only enslave your wife.
Just do that job so she don't have to work 50 hours.
Not only enslave your wife, but also minus the income of her being a surgeon.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know, sometimes you want to do some stuff and be like all clever and stuff, and sometimes it's just like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I said, I know I kind of get what they were doing. I think the other problem is that I know Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be Harry Styles' character.
Yeah.
And he's so
he's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo, but he's so intense and I feel so it's like I'm watching Harry Styles and I'm like, Shia LaBeouf would have done that scene.
He would have been so much better.
And I don't think that that's Harry Styles' fault because I think that part was written for Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
So it's like when they did the part that Eminem was supposed to be, so Elysium.
Elysium, yeah.
Where Matt Damon
Eminem.
And it was obvious it was supposed to be Eminem. Like,
I also feel like Shia LaBeouf could have like, portrayed like the subtle menace of it because it's Harry Styles. Like whatever that guy's doing, I'm like, okay, he's obviously the good guy.
Yes, he's so sweet.
There's no way he's the bad guy. Like, oh, he's the bad guy. I don't believe it at all.
yeah, lies. He could
like no, he's wrong, obviously. But like Shia LaBeouf's like, he's being nice.
Right.
But
He's
the same
saying
thing.
all the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf has that intensity to where he's saying the right things and he's doing everything like on paper. He's a good guy, but you're like, is he poisoning my food? Like, what's
But also
happening?
the whole drama of the movie is that, like, some people want to say that Shia LaBeouf got fired because he was being Shia LaBeouf and he'd done shitty things because he's a
Hmm.
terrible human being. Let's just be honest.
Mm.
But really, he had
He's
quit.
had a hard life.
Yeah, he's had a hard life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Like he said that the movie that he did about his autobiography movie. What was it
Yeah.
like? Honeybird,
Honey
Honey
Boy.
Boy. He said he made that up.
What?
He said he made that, and maybe this is just him saying that because he's off his lithium or whatever. But he
Yeah.
said he made that whole. He said he had a perfectly fine childhood.
No, I think you're just saying that because he still supports his parents. And
Yeah, I still support my parents, and I love them to death.
no,
That shit was horrible.
don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't let him lie about you guys.
That shit was horrible.
No.
Ask any of my siblings. That shit was terrible.
No.
growing up.
No.
Hashtag I love you, mom and dad.
No, childhood actors, you just see it. I follow a lot of especially Disney Channel actors on
Ooh, they tear them
social
up.
medias. Yeah, like Disney, man, they be ruthless with them kids. So I'm just waiting for Miley Cyrus to lay it all out for us because I want to hear the Hannah Montana drama.
Well, I mean, like for Miley Cyrus, like her parents were there the whole entire time, though. Like she was starring in a show with her dad, so
It
like
doesn't matter.
it's probably even worse, is what I'm saying.
It's probably yes. Okay. I was gonna say what's happening here because this is.
I'm gonna say that freaking Billy Ray is probably like a despot, right? Like. Don't Break My Heart was a cry for help or something like that. It was a plea to stop him.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get all of our. There we go. All right.
Yeah. For those who are watching us right now, this is just our pre-show kind of fuck around moment. We're waiting for Jason. His wife is actually bailing him out of jail right now. So
not true. Don't let him lie to y'all.
Driving real fast to get here so that we can actually kick off the show proper. But we like to fuck around and just talk about whatever things we've seen in the media lately or whatever. So if you we're just talking. We're just hanging out.
We're just
chilling,
talking about things that happen throughout the day. Oh, This is also something. You weren't a Buffy fan, were you?
I was totally a Buffy fan. You know how many times I went with you to the freaking Buffy sing along?
Okay, but just going to the Buffy sing along is different because my husband did that too, and he hates Buffy. So
I watched all 7 seasons of Buffy and all 5 seasons of Angel too.
So, when I rewatched Buffy the Vampire Slayer for our Halloween episode, right? That shit does not age well.
No,
like at all. Like, and I'm glad that I watched it while it was happening, but like because I would never be able to enjoy it.
There are some things, as we grow older and as you look back upon them, you realize. Wow, I can't believe that was the thing that I liked, even though you still have a fondness for it, but also like, whoa, that's super problematic. For example, and speaking of another Joss Whedon show, Firefly.
I never watched Firefly. I can't believe I didn't.
Loved Firefly. Loved it. Still do. I still have a place for it in my heart. But when you look at it, it's like they're basically like our antagonists are basically Confederate soldiers. It's basically a Confederate apology piece. Like, that's what it is. So, like, yeah, it's great, but is it great? I don't know. Or your boy, your girl, your J.K. Rowling's, you love Harry Potter. Still do. I have a place in my heart for Harry Potter. But you go back and some of that stuff is like, I can't believe I didn't pick up on that when I was 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't believe those goblins just threw right past my head. Like Kingsley Shacklebolt.
The goblins. Yeah. So I saw. I don't. You might have sent me the TikTok. The TikTok was like, if if J.K. Rowling had a trans character.
Yeah, yeah, the trans person one.
It would be like, I'd have to find the video now, but it was
I'm
like,
Dooley McMahon's hands or something
yeah,
stupid like that.
it was something so stupid. I was like, it's so true though, because Kingsley Shacklebolt, like all those things, the Dobby, like just that,
Yeah, like
all the
the whole
L's.
Spew storyline. Like I remember reading that and like, why are you guys not like as enthusiastic about this as Hermione
Nobody
is?
cared.
And and for one thing, Harry doesn't know any of this shit. He has no connection to any of this shit, right? Like Harry grew up as a normal kid for like the first 10 years of his life. And then when he grew it, and I guess they don't teach him.
So did Hermione, and Hermione was the one.
And Hermione's like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And Harry's like, don't ruin this for me, bitch.
Yeah. Like honestly, they would be nothing with Hermione. I want an entire series from Hermione's point of view, so I could just hear
Hermione
her
solving everybody's problems.
Hear her just be like, these fucking boys are so annoying. They never listen to me. Watch me save the day again.
I should have been in Ravenclaw. They would have listened to me.
When I tell you, I got that Hufflepuff. I got sorted to Hufflepuff. I was just like, there's no way. I'm Ravenclaw. Made another account. Took another test.
I did too. I'm not checking the first. I got Ravenclaw the first time around. I'm like, no. I will not be in there with Cho Chang and her trifling ass. I'm going Gryffindor.
Yeah.
And I did that thing 5 times before I got to Gryffindor.
It doesn't count, Jason.
Yes, it does. You can choose. That's canonical.
Oh my god. Do you see
Thanks.
that? Yeah, there we go.
For those who are listening, Sarah says, crazy that Rowling created a magical world with pretty much no rules. And it was like, this needs a little slavery.
Just a little.
We should have watched war. Yeah. We should have seen the writing on the walls.
Yeah. What's a little race war without some slavery?
Yeah. Let's a little bit of like wannabe slaves. It's fine. They want to be subjugated.
They're happy.
Yeah.
They don't want to be set free. Just look at Creature.
Logan, don't forget about the racism.
Yeah, there you go.
We never. Michelle, oh wait, hold on. Here we go. Do we hate Rowling or do we not? Yeah. So
she gave us this amazing thing that is Harry Potter, and it is the Harry Potter universe.
She's like the aunt in your. I mean, I don't get this, but maybe the people of lighter complexion might have this. But you know how like sometimes you have a family like, oh, we're all on the same page except for that one aunt or uncle, yeah. And you love them because you grew up with them, and you're like, I love you, but you're like, I don't want to speak to that person.
That's the aunt who held my hand while I cried, and told me it's okay, you can be weird, but like she's still a terrible human.
Yeah, you love them. But if you never saw them again, that's fine too.
I think the thing about Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling, it's the same with like Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, and at some point the fans own the content. Like it stops being owned by the creator, and I think Harry Potter has reached that point where
honestly,
J.K. Rowling created it, sure, but she doesn't make the rules anymore.
Honestly, it's especially after these last 2 Fantastic Beasts movies, I feel like they should she should do a George Lucas, cash out and let someone else take over that.
You're a billionaire. Why do you need more money for?
Cash out and just be like, you know what? This isn't mine anymore. Y'all have fun. I'll just be here and count my money by myself.
Just let it, because like we said, I truly believe it's like that. 100% Lord of the Rings is like that. It's fan driven. It's fan driven now. So there's several fandoms that are like that. And so thank you for creating Harry Potter. We'll take it from here.
Yeah. This is ours now. It's like the same thing with like H.P. Lovecraft, for example, there's been
Yeah.
plenty of more writers who've expanded on that lore who aren't racist,
Nice.
who've done more with it than like, yeah, that dude created all that whole Lovecraftian shit. But like, yeah, he was a super racist, and if you ever read Lovecraft, you get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are people that have come in and taken like all the things he's done and be like, yo, you know, what you did was cool with this part of it, and we'll cut the rest of that shit out and make it better. We won't be talking about, you know, the swarthy Negro and the Mongoloid races.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It makes me
like lowbrow cunning.
I was talking to my dad today earlier about something, and it was something about like racism and stuff like that. And I was telling him about N-word for nerd and how, and he was just like, I don't like that. It kind of makes me feel weird. And I was like, it's supposed to.
Yeah, that's the point.
Like, if you feel weird, that's good. Like, that's
but it's pretty hard to get people to to recommend your podcast when they're like, can I say this?
I think it's
well, it's a really good podcast, but it's like,
yeah. Like it's supposed to make you feel weird. It's supposed to make you be like, am I racist? Like,
but the N-word is nerd. That's what, get it? No, that's Jason. That was Jason. I'm like, I'll go with it.
Okay, so we have a comment that said, do you see Michelle's comment?
Yeah.
It says, when are we reviewing A Crown of Thorns and Roses?
Oh, that's not it.
That's Logan, yeah. So, Michelle, you and I will have to do our own podcast. That's something different. That's not for the guys.
It's
a book series. It's about
Is
fairies.
It written by a person of color?
I don't know. I never Googled her before. If she's like 1/16 Native American, does that count?
Yes, it does count.
Okay. We'll investigate.
Yeah, if she's written by a person of color, then I will read all your alphabet.
Michelle, it's not a no. It's not a no. That's what I'm hearing.
I'll learn about nodding or whatever else goes on in your weird sex books. It's fine. I'm cool. I'm down. I'm hip.
I showed up at the right time.
You sure did. I was telling Jason I watched I already told you guys I watched Barbarian over the weekend.
I love Barbarian.
First of all, Skarsgård.
Which one? Bill?
It.
Or Alex. Bill. Yeah, he's the best Skarsgård, hands down.
No, because there's another one who is in a little show called True Blood.
No.
Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Bill can act the circles around Alex any day.
I agree. I do agree.
I
love them in the Northman. I love them in the Northman.
I don't care about the acting. I'm glad.
Oh, you just want to see who, when they take off the shirt, which one makes a good.
It's not the shirt. It's the jawline.
The jawline.
You know?
Whatever. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know what y'all like.
I don't know what y'all like.
That's why I'm single. It's like, do y'all pee sitting down? I don't know.
Apparently, that's like an American thing. Like, apparently, everywhere else other than America, or pee sitting down.
Do you see the TikToks where the guy, someone asked some random dudes about like feminine hygiene products, like, oh, how many tampons does a girl use during her flow? And the guy's like, I don't know, 1 or 2. And I'm like, that sounds like a reasonable number. I don't fucking know.
I can't even with you guys. I can't even.
Look,
I mean, I know more than that, but I wouldn't argue with anybody. I'm not going to argue.
3 sisters. I had 3 sisters and a mother, and I never once they were like, I need 15 of these. Never once did they tell me that. So I wouldn't know. I didn't ask. It's a joke, Lisa.
It's fine. Everything is fine. I'm glad it's a joke for you.
Between 4 and an unlimited number. Like, what is going to not get me beat up?
To infinity and beyond.
Or like the teachers, like, why can't you just hold
But
it
yes,
in?
what were you saying about Barbarian? Because we got off on Skarsgård's and Tampa.
Oh yeah. I forgot we were going to talk about that. What did I watch? That was like the craziest. It was the craziest movie. It was insane. Is that what the kids are calling elevated horror? Is that what that is?
Nah, elevated horror is like the Babadook
I was gonna say the
and
Babadook.
Hereditary, and those are more elevated horror where it's more
It
like
follows.
feel like if you take away the horror, it's still a highbrow movie. But this one is just more like it's a regular old horror movie, just that your expectations are subverted because they just start doing wild shit. And you're like, whoa, where's this going?
Yeah. Holy
this
cow.
come from? Oh man, maybe I'll have to force me to get over my internal fears and watch this movie.
It's not scary, honestly. It's really not.
That's what they say about The Doctor.
It's not scary. It took me a minute because I was like, the movie The Doctor?
Yeah, that's what I
remember that one. And then I realized you're talking about the actual Doctor. It's like my brain forgetting that I speak English.
Yes, Aaron loved Barbarian too. Yes, Barbarian is great. Also, so yes, it is not scary in the sense that I think if you watch it at home, it loses a little bit of the effect because I watched it in the theater and it's freaky as hell in the theater. But I just watched, hate to say, I watched a piece of it with my daughters and I'm like, this doesn't feel as creepy as it did when I'm sitting surrounded by strangers in a dark theater, not knowing what the hell is going on. So
that's what Jason was saying, James, that not to watch the trailer first. And I haven't seen any of the trailers. I only seen like the first teaser trailer. And that was it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to see this movie.
And the whole time, me and James were like, he better not be the bad guy. He better not be the bad guy. He better not be the
ruin
bad
it
guy.
for me. I might see this.
Do you know who we're talking about? Did I say a name?
It's probably Justin Long.
Did I say a name?
It's probably Justin Long and or Bill Skarsgård.
You may think what you like, sir. You may think what you like, sir. So the whole time we're like, better not be a bad guy. We'll hate this movie if he's a bad guy. So
it's definitely Justin Long.
Like the best part about it, he's right. Like, it's 3 different acts, but like the cold open is probably the longest cold open in the history of horror movies. Like it goes on for a while.
Yeah.
And you forget that, this movie hasn't even officially quote unquote started yet. And so it's pretty cool. It's a great movie.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
What the? Because at first when it like completely changed, and it almost like Technicolor, we're like, is it over? Is it the same movie? Like, what is happening?
Is this an anthology? Like you saw a thing like this is an anthology?
Yeah, but it wasn't like I was expecting it to be like really gory, and it did have gory moments, but there were like so much of the movie I was just like, okay, here it comes. Okay, here it comes, and then you're just like, ew.
I don't know. It depends on the type of gore. If it's like cartoony, I'm like fine, but if it's like Hostile, I'm like I can't.
Well, you just told me to ruin it for you, or I would say something. But
well, like
God
if it's
forbid we have spoilers on this show.
Is it Hostile gory? Yes or no? Are there people getting their toes cut off?
I did not watch Hostile because James thought that I would never sleep again.
Oh, dude, I watched like the first.
No, it's not Hostile. It's not Hostile gory.
Okay, then I could probably watch it. Are there any actual ghosts?
No.
Okay. You want to start at what? 31 minutes, 32 minutes?
Yeah, let's.
I got
number.
this, Jason. Hold your horses.
I'm just asking because round numbers.
3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the head.
Oh, I hate you. I need round numbers. I'm like 31s, 32s. I'm doing this. All right, there we go. And go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Headcanon Circus podcast. I'm your host for today, Jason Baker, Lord Jason, if you're nasty. And thank you for joining us. We're glad to have all of you here watching us today. Well, let's introduce my lovely co-host. She is the Hermione to our dumbass Ron and Harry, Miss Lisa. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great, y'all. How you doing?
I'm doing. I don't know why I asked for everybody to answer. Like, I'm doing great. Like,
I'm doing horrible.
And then we also have the head to our canon, the kid to my play, Mr. Jason. How you doing, bruh?
I'm good. I will say officially I'll be Ron in this situation, and I'll let you be Harry.
Oh
I'll
no,
take
no,
the
no, no.
Ron
I'm not.
thing. I'll
I'm
be the
obviously
dirty
not along the
ginger.
bottom.
The real chosen one.
Yeah, the
Yes,
real
you're
chosen
probably
one.
correct. Yeah. Oh, just so everybody know, I'm going full spoilers on BP. We didn't give everybody a week. Y'all should be able to
Yeah, it's
know.
been a
I
few
know what it
days. So
is. Yeah,
look,
we're gonna go full spoilers.
honestly, if you haven't watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever by now, you're a racist. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
You hate people.
That's maybe they ain't got paid yet. Jason.
Watch
Maybe
those
they ain't got
numbers drop.
money yet. You know, they ain't got the money
No.
yet. Like you just
And if you didn't see it, and the reason why you didn't see it is because you went up to the theater and bought a ticket for a black person, you're no longer a racist. How about that?
Okay. Okay.
All right. At least they have a way to make their way out of the racist field, so that's fine.
No. I'm sorry, everybody. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry that you haven't seen it yet. But life happens. But either way, we do have a jam-packed show for you guys today. We are going to be reviewing Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, as well as our anime selection, which is Cannon Busters, not Blasters, which is what we've been calling it this entire week.
Whoops.
And since
Whoopsies.
and since we have a black superhero movie, we're going to do our retro on a black superhero movie, which is Blankman, not Meteor Man, like we said last weekend, because apparently Meteor Man's not on streaming.
Yeah, like you can't even
Shame.
rent it on Amazon.
No.
Nothing.
Nope.
You can't
Yeah.
buy the DVD, but that was $20, and we're not that kind of show.
Unless someone wants to buy it for us
Yeah,
and send it to
now
us.
we can review it next week.
We'll
and
get a
all
PO
just-
box
Yeah.
and we'll watch it and review it.
But thanks everybody for joining us. Please do the things that you normally do with all the internet content. Your likes, your shares, your subscribings, all the stuff. We are everywhere you want to be. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts. We on Facebook. We on Twitter. As long as Twitter is going to be up for as long as we don't know, Twitter might burn.
While it's on fire, we're still there.
We're still there. We're the guys on the Titanic playing the violins while it goes down.
And we are not verified because we don't want to pay for the check. So if you see Ed Cannon verified, it's not us.
Yeah.
Funny moment. I've never watched Titanic. I've never watched Titanic.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I know what happens at the end. Spoiler alert! I know what happens. So I'm good.
You always stand in James Cameron, and you never watched his number one greatest movie of all time.
Next
to Aliens.
It probably okay, correct. Or next to Terminator 2, or next
Terminator
to True
2 is probably
Lies.
better.
Ooh, Terminator 2 is so good.
True Lies.
I mean,
but like for Terminator 2 is great. It's a classic, phenomenal movie, masterpiece. Aliens, top 10. But Titanic, you couldn't walk 5 feet without someone.
Thank you, Sarah.
Well,
she's a child. She's like
Sarah,
21.
are you joking with me right now?
Nobody wants to see a love story about about a ship falling into an iceberg. Nobody wants to see that.
I have to reevaluate our friendship right now. I don't even know.
I don't even like that movie, and I saw it 4 times in the theater. I don't even like it.
That is disgusting.
I saw it 4 times.
I'm embarrassed to know you
now. I owned it on VHS. I had it on DVD. I made my kids watch it last year when it came on Netflix.
Isn't that movie so long you had to buy like 2 VHS tapes?
Oh yeah, you used to get the double VHS.
Yeah.
And I pre-ordered it from Blockbuster, and I got a little piece of coal from the Titanic as like part of the pre-order.
For those of you in the younger audience, yes, the ship does sink at the end. That's kind of like a spoiler.
Yeah, my children, who are actually children, have seen the movie, Sarah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you, James. Yeah, Titanic sucks, and I saw it.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody tells me it sucks, but everybody's like, yeah, but I saw it multiple times.
I saw it like 19 times. Even I don't like the movie, and if it's on, I'm watching it. I do not like this movie. But also, before we go on for more Titanic talk, please remember to pick up your book for our book, the Headcanon Circus Book Club, hardback or paperback or on your phone. It is The Taking of Jake Livingston. I'm I don't know, I guess about 50 pages in. I'm liking this so far, but we shall have the full review on November 30th.
And
of
for
this month.
for those of you Atlanteans, the author is
It's from Atlanta.
It's an Atlanta author, yeah. So
Yeah, I had to look up the
support
city that he
local
lives in,
authors.
and I was like, that's not a real city.
So
But-
just an update on that. I've emailed him a few times. I haven't got any response back. So I think I'm gonna start attacking him on Twitter. And by attack, I mean just saying, "Hey, we're looking for you to be on the show."
Yeah.
And my boss at work has actually read the book already because I suggested it to her,
Ooh.
and she finished it like in 3 days because she said it was that good. So there you go.
Yeah, like
Look at
it's more of a YA novel from
Yeah.
what I'm reading, so it should be a pretty easy read for those of us who are not children. But I mean, even if you are a child, it's not
Or
that
Jason.
it's easy. But you should just read the book. Come on, guys, y'all can read.
Hopefully.
But either way, what do you guys want to start with? Like, what do we want to? We want to
Oh,
start.
come
with
on, man. You know what we starting.
You want to
know
start with
what
the
we
big
starting.
champagne?
Yeah, well, Cannon Buster for sure, right?
Gonna tease it out. Let the
No, we got to start with the.
we
with
got
the-
to start
with the
with.
people.
All right, here we go. Here's my movie talking voice. Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and the Dora Milaje fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to form a new path for their beloved kingdom. That is the synopsis that I got off the internet for Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. So, y'all know how we do. If you don't know, now you know. For every movie or everything we review, we do our one sentence review. So, Lisa, go ahead and kick us off with our one sentence review.
Let me just
At time out, before
Hold
you say anything, remember this is a Black show.
let me just have another sip. Hold on. Is Wakanda forever the bad guy?
Whoa. So you're like, kill that kid. Jason, send us up.
Oh, this ain't nothing but some Age of Ultron too.
Why do y'all hate Black people so much?
Just stop. Stop.
And for me, it's like, they don't call him General. They don't call him King. They call him Ku Khan, the Feathered Serpent God. That's my one sentence review. All right.
Good job. Good job, Jason.
You guys are going to talk shit about this cultural icon. Go ahead and start because, I'll just be respectful and let y'all air your grievances.
You don't know me, Jason.
And
You
still
don't
love you. I still love you afterwards. I will still love you afterwards, but I will listen to your slander and take everything you say to heart as if you are personally insulting me.
I can see that.
Wow,
I'm a dig in deep.
wow. I don't even want to go.
I'll start off. I'm gonna jump right into it. All
All
right,
right,
look.
jump right into it, Jason.
Yeah. So my review is going to be very sectioned out, and you guys are going to hate me for it because I'm basically keep it real and say, if this movie was not a Marvel movie, I probably would have been in complete utter love with it because you don't see Black people in these kind of movies, like sci-fi, technology, fantasy, and all that stuff. And that's what I loved about it. I loved all the emotional beats. I love the tribute to Chadwick and King T'Challa. It's a lot of great things in this movie. The biggest thing why I don't rock with it as heavily as everybody else is rocking with it is because you can feel when Marvel started trying to Marvel. It's a lot of things in this movie that don't need to be in this movie. And this is not me. This is also setting the precedent that Black Panther 1 was a very isolated story. Wakanda Forever felt like, when I say this ain't nothing but some Age of Ultron 2, it felt like it spent more time trying to set up everything else for phase 5, I guess, than actually focusing on what this movie was about. And every time I kept getting really, really into it and involved, I felt like Kevin Feige was like, hey, Kugler, make sure we put the white people in there. You got that? All right.
Go get Martin, go get Frodo out here.
Yeah, right. And then it's like, okay.
Mary or Pippin. He ain't Frodo.
He's Bilbo.
Right.
Oh, is that what it is, Bilbo?
Yeah, he's Bilbo. And then it's like every time it would just reset for me, and it just continuously kept happening. And then I hate to say it, once you get into that mode where you feel like you keep losing, for me personally, I kept losing steam with the movie. then you start realizing like the huge plot holes in there that like you can't oversee anymore. And the hugest plot hole, and again, we're talking spoilers, guys, so you may want to mute this because I'm about to do a huge spoiler here. He fucking had Riri in the prison. He kills her. The dispute's over. The movie's over at that point. And for some reason, it was like, nah, let me show you around here like I'm Aladdin. Fuck out of here. I'm sorry, guys. It just, oh, and I'm not even going to talk about the ending that made me want to puke with like, old boy getting waxed by a chick that ain't one of the warriors. And everybody's like, oh, well, she might have got training. Namor, and I know we like because this is not the comic book universe, but Namor in the books is one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe. And the fact that he got waxed by a chick that had really, to our knowledge, had no sophisticated training. And like, and I know everybody's like, well, he got dehydrated. Oh, okay, sorry. Then he got a little thirsty, and that made him unable to fight anymore. Again, but she was in that too. It just. And it's nothing about her being a woman. Because I was like, oh, you just mad she was a woman. I'm like, nah, it's not about her being a woman. It was the fact that I had somebody who's a trained fighter that looked like a trained warrior versus somebody who's intelligent. Not to mention her intelligent plan was probably the dumbest plan I've ever heard in my life. Hey, let's get a boat in the ocean where they're the strongest at and try to fight them. Are we fucking kidding? All right, I digress. It is a very good and enjoyable movie. It's just that I felt like for it being a Marvel movie, I couldn't look past some of the just blatant disregard for like, and like it just treated us like we weren't smart. I think that's what it was. It's just like, oh, we're just gonna make sure you feed you this, and you're just gonna roll with it. And I just couldn't roll with it, man. I'm good, man.
Yeah. Why? Okay. So why do you hate black people? It's the question I still.
Okay. Listen.
Because I wanted more Martin Freeman. That's why. So
can I just don't want us to be happy? Okay. Uncle Ruckus over here doesn't want us to be happy. I'm kidding, everybody. Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. Here's the deal. I cried in the beginning, right? It was emotion, and I think part of it was when it went to the general. I can never remember what her freaking name is. Okoye, right?
Yeah.
Because she's such a good actress. So when they were doing the funeral scene and it panned to her and she's crying, I felt like she was really crying for Chadwick Boseman. You know, like it felt real. So as soon as I saw her face, crying, right? I cried at the end again, not with the here's my son, secret son, blah blah blah. Get out of here.
Let's just we're spoiling it. He has a secret son, everybody.
Okay, yes, we said we're spoiling it. But like, okay.
Everybody knew about except for his sister. Everybody knew
everybody was like,
literally, get out of here with that nonsense.
By the way, your mom knew. Chad also, Terrell also knew. We told Okoye. Obviously, I know because I'm the baby's mom.
We told Bilbo knew. Yeah, Bilbo knew about it. He was
okay.
We just met Namor. He knew.
So the thing is, here's the thing about Marvel. They don't, if they're not killing off their villains, they don't know what to do with them. They do not know how to handle villains without killing them. So they had this badass, I've been calling him Namor because that's how he pronounces it. But it should have, if they insisted on killing off T'Challa, which I still think was a big mistake. I think they should have just recast him. And I understand that they wanted to pay respects to Chadwick Boseman and they, because he died in real life. It felt a little too much Glee to me. Like whenever Corey Metcalf died in Glee, like in real life, and Glee did a whole tribute episode and they talked about him passing and how it, was like didn't have to happen. It was so meta. I feel like they did that here and it kind of, it like I understand what they were trying to do, but I felt like it kind of trivialized it a little bit. I don't know the word I'm thinking of, but it just felt a little like they were cashing in on his death. And so I think that they missed the mark with just recasting T'Challa because they worked so hard in the first Black Panther and was it Captain America Civil War to really build up T'Challa, to build up all of Wakanda, to have like this amazing world. And then they're just like, beep. And then Shuri is like the dumbest character in the whole freaking movie. She literally, like, you know, Taylor Swift, I'm the problem, it's me. Like, literally, she's ruining everything.
Is it me,
Like,
Jesus?
yeah, is it me, Jesus? Yeah, like she's just, and I understand she's a kid. Like, I
She's
just think,
27.
look, they try. It just didn't hit. I agree. I had the problem with the Warriors. I couldn't understand. I believe that probably every human in Wakanda is probably combat trained to an extent because they're a warrior people, right? So I'm sure that even from the moment they're born, they at least know self-defense. She did not earn the Black Panther. She didn't earn it. T'Challa almost died twice for that.
He did die once.
And yeah, and then, but she just drank a thing that and then she just gets to be Black Panther. Absolutely not. They completely underutilized M'Baku, and he's like one of the best freaking characters in all of Wakanda, and I do not understand why they underutilized him. And okay, but
because
I did
Winston
think
Duke
that it was
is so
hilarious
good that he would
whenever he got punched by Namor, and then he, like, later he's like, he's as strong as the Hulk.
Yeah,
like, yeah, because he broke your armor. That's why you're saying that. But yeah, they just don't know what to do. Marvel doesn't know what to do, and it makes me sad because Black Panther is like one of the movies in the MCU that I've watched the most. Black Panther, Homecoming, and probably the first Avengers. I've seen those movies the most, and they just completely took everything they did in Black Panther, everything they did building it up, and just said, boom, and yeah. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-hosts are racist.
Thank you.
They both are. I don't know why we're doing the show anymore. No, but really,
I'm gonna ask out Candace Owens next. So
yeah,
that's my next.
Might as well go over here and be Ben Carson or somebody. Honestly, you guys' criticism are very, very apt and very, very spot on. This movie does have some problems because they wrote it in like 2 months after the dude died. Like, they rushed this to.
But they didn't have to.
You're right. They didn't have to.
Chose
they rushed
to do
this
that.
to production because they had a schedule to keep to, and this is also, during COVID, and they could have let this slide for another 2 years, and we would have been fine. You guys are right. And I appreciate your candor.
Here we go.
I fucking love this movie. I love this movie. For the moment that you see these Africans in their dress and they're giving of their heart and their soul, and they're all, even though it's supposed to be a funeral, they are dancing and they are singing and they're just being happy. I was like, I don't care what they could have shot in the bag for the next 5 hours, and I'm gonna be like, I love this fucking movie. All right, this stuff, like, if I had this kind of movie when I was a child, I would not be the broken man that I am today.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the significance. Proud
that I was able to watch this with my child. All right, there are some definitely glaring plot holes. Riri Williams could not have been in this movie whatsoever, and it would have been fine. Freaking Frodo Baggins could have not been in this movie, and it would have been fine. But those pieces, where it's terrible, there goes Jason. He's gone.
He said bye because he
I don't
agree
with you at all. This is a bullshit. He hates black people. But just the strength on Angela Bassett's performance alone gives it A+ in my book. Just that one scene where she's
Angela
talking.
Bassett. She's
exactly.
I'm sorry.
And she's the queen for a reason. She is the queen of my heart. She is the queen of Wakanda, and she's like, oh my god, that she put on a clinic. And you know what? Yeah, it pissed me off that they killed her off. Yeah, that made me angry.
Yeah.
But
it just didn't seem necessary.
It did not seem necessary. Damn, she go out like a fucking badass.
Yeah.
Namor, I love him. I loved everything about him. I was like, maybe he should beat these motherfuckers up.
Yeah, no, I loved him. Yeah,
like, as of all the villains, and even though, his, I wouldn't even say downfall, his defeat at the end, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's fucking Marvel movie. They're gonna fuck it up. But every time that dude is on screen, just, oh man, I guess I have a Mexican, Aztec Mayan fetish now, because that dude is just exuding Prince Namor with his sexual. I can understand why Sue Storm will be like, maybe I do want to give up my husband for this dude. And you know,
he
go
stole
ahead,
the
Lisa.
show. He stole
did
the
steal the show.
show.
Yeah.
In a Black Panther movie. Like,
Which, you know what? That's fine
that's
because you know
disappointing.
what we doing about black folk? We giving everybody else their come ups too. All right, you know, everybody else coming up. We ain't just gonna be like, we got ours, y'all don't get yours. No, everybody, we pulling all the people up.
Well,
too.
they are. Black Panther is good about that. Yeah, the Black Panther franchise. I just don't understand why. Oh, do we have a? Oh, okay.
What do you? Go ahead.
I just don't understand why they didn't have. I keep calling them Atlanteans because you know I'm a DC.
I can't.
Yeah. You might as well just say,
but the water people. I don't understand why they didn't have the water people team up with the Wakandans against the Americans. Why wasn't that?
Because we live in America, Lisa. We can't have a movie about that.
Yeah, that thread was dropped real quick. That thread was dropped real quick.
I just think that's what I thought it was going to be. I feel like that would have made more sense. And then having more kind of into his ear, just, you know, slowly but surely, and then building it up. And then maybe later on down the road, they have a big blow up. But it just, so many people died for literally no reason for him to be like, okay, I yield. And then him like, it's okay because now they'll owe us a favor.
Yeah, they got us.
Like,
we got them for one. We got them in our pockets now. And now when we come out and actually fight the Americans, now we all get to get slaughtered with these black people too.
No, my teenagers could have made a better script. I mean, that's just it. The plot holes were
also.
It was. You know, I did not hate the movie. I did not. It was beautiful.
You were correct.
The soundtrack was beautiful.
On M'Baku. Being the best character ever, and they need to use him more. But for every scene that he was in, I loved him. Winston Duke is a national treasure. Look now, I mean, he got an expanded role from what he was in the first Black Panther. Could they put him in more? Yes. If they had done that, then and they probably should have wrote Shuri out of this. She would not have anything to do if they had more M'Baku in that thing. And honestly, that's the. If they have to follow directive, and that was the only thing they could probably have fallen back on, is that making sure the Black Pantheress, because that's, you know, it's comic books. They have to follow the comic book line, blah 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 blah, whatever. Who cares? But it's just that everybody did such a wonderful job in their acting, in their portrayals, that I could overlook the giant glaring plot holes. Yeah, why didn't you just put a bullet in that girl's face, like right when she saw her? Oh, because she has an upcoming Disney Plus show. He couldn't have killed her. Like
facts.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know, I'm gonna give everybody a fucking pass because, like, as I said, they were doing this on a fucking deadline. You know, they had to get this movie out whether they wanted to or not. And if Ryan Coogler hadn't have done the things that he done and wrote this shit script, they would have taken it out of his hands and gave it to some other asshole, and we would have got something we would have got Thor: Love and Thunder again. And they would have jokes and spaghetti, and none of this makes sense. And none of this
spaghetti. Is the spaghetti funny now? Is that what spaghetti is? It's a funny food. Go ahead, I don't know. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
That was another problem, because I'm gonna start talking about all the good stuff I loved about it in a second. But the other big problem I had about it too was, like, they almost make it feel like, unless your name is Anthony Stark, your death means nothing. Because you would think you would have shown this, like, worldwide, like, admiration for T'Challa, even if they just had like a TV on in the corner. Yeah. And it's just playing through scenes of people around the world, or even just in Africa, like, celebrating his life as well, to show that he had an influence more than just Wakanda. But I don't know. I wanted that because it felt like, I mean, you already said we don't give a fuck about Black Widow.
Let's also be honest, he's still black. Come on, he's still black.
Yeah, but black people would mourn T'Challa in real life. If an African king that was putting, like,
they did just show real footage of
one
people
other
crying
African
over
leader
besides
name one other African leader besides Nelson Mandela. Name one.
But he is the Nelson Mandela of the Marvel universe. Like, so
name one more.
I mean, but that's my point though. He is a Nelson Mandela, so that's all we need is that one. We would avoid his death. I mean, he was dropping like Wakanda science centers in the hood. Like,
yeah, we'd have
people
loved
would
that.
have been
He
cool
would
with
have
that.
been a t-shirt real quick, just like
Right.
Hope and chains.
Hell yeah. Shit. But also like I said, so let me talk about the good stuff. The great stuff about it is you're right. It's a lot. The performances in here are top notch. You can tell they really put they put their foot in this because they really wanted to represent for it. I do think the title of the movie is smart and fitting instead of making this Black Panther 2, because there's damn near no Black Panther in most of this movie. It's Wakanda Forever. Yeah, but it's named Wakanda Forever because I think this definitely dealt with all the Wakandians that we knew, and they made that very, very prominent. The bridge fight scene is one of the best fight scenes that's probably been in the Marvel universe. Even that my girl had to take an L. I still respected the fight. So there's a lot to love in this.
She is fighting like a super person and by herself with Justice.
I'm not saying anything wrong with her taking an L. I mean, I didn't hate on her. I'm just saying
I do have to talk a little bit of shit too, a little bit, because that Midnight Angel armor,
right?
It's gross.
Stupid.
It's gross.
Disgusting. Like
stupid.
She even says it. She says several times. It's so ugly.
And I always keep things above the line. Just because you say it's ugly in the movie doesn't mean it gives a pass.
Right. It's ugly.
Like, look how ugly this thing is. Yeah. Y'all could have done it better.
What? Who signed off on that? Who signed off on that?
The comic books, and they were like, "Oh, this looks like the comic book, so people will love it." And like,
Either way,
toy.
I still have to 100% give it a pass because Ryan Coogler went to the bank to get his own money out the bank, and they tried to arrest his ass and he was trying to get this movie made. So fuck it all. I don't care. I love this fucking movie.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it was fun.
I got no more hate.
It's a fun movie.
I tweeted out that I was not going to be that I cannot be unbiased about this movie just because of the way it makes me feel.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all reviews on all movies. It's just how you feel about the stuff. None of us, we're not like, foremost experts in cinema.
But, we're just having fun. I was kind of the same way about Black Widow. Like, I just, I had
fun with Black Widow.
I just was excited that she finally got. I hated that it took so long for her to get it, but it was a well-deserved movie, and Florence Pugh stole the show.
What she always does.
Yes, she's amazing. Yeah.
Also, I did not know Lupita Nyong'o had a little booty on her. I don't know where I didn't see that. Just to be sexist for a second, guys.
Okay, cool. Glad we threw that in. That's awesome.
I was like, damn.
I'm more disappointed that he never noticed that. That's what I'm more disappointed about. Like, how you ain't noticed that thing? All right, go ahead. Continue.
Damn, T'Challa. I see it. No wonder.
Hey, Jason, show that last comment on what does that say? They had to have Namor kill her off because if he didn't, he wouldn't have been the villain of the film. Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't inherently a bad guy at that point. He was just kind of,
Well, I mean, because, he did slaughter a bunch of Wakandans before he killed her. So,
but they are random people and they live in Africa, so they were going to die anyway.
That's what makes it even worse. And they were random people that had nothing to do with this issue. And he was like, water bomb.
Fishing on his boat.
They had so many water bombs. Like, they just had that stocked up for just...
Yeah, he's ready for war, man.
Look, when you are a centuries-old Mayan water god, all you have are water bombs.
And he's just been spending centuries
just
mining them just for that moment.
He's just sitting in his little thing. Last go ahead.
I did love seeing Killmonger again.
Oh yes. I felt like that was a pretty cool touch to the movie. If you had heard the screaming, me and Brody scrumped when we saw him, like, because in that character, it is a word in AAVE. It's a word.
Okay.
Look on the internet. Because I felt like, unlike T'Challa and pretty much any other Black Panthers beforehand, she was having that's what I liked about this movie, because it was a smaller, sort of more personal story, for sure. Anyway, she was doing this out of anger and revenge. She wasn't doing this to.
Right.
She didn't even believe in the afterlife, really.
Correct.
You know,
Mhm.
she was doing this to go and fight that dude over there because I don't like him no more because he killed my mama. And of course, she's gonna pull up her cousin who's like, "Yeah, let's go kill him."
Yeah.
You should go over there and murder his ass. Like,
Also, I think too, like, and again, I don't write movies, and I have no idea how to write one, but I feel like I can look at something and go, this doesn't make. I can feel that this script was written while Chadwick was alive, and they had to rework some things because of his death. Because they stated that, but you could tell in the movie. So the reason why I can tell in the movie is that at one point when and thinking the Killmonger thing made me thought of it is that the movie should have had that bridge scene end with Okoye getting away with Riri, but Shuri being left.
yeah.
So then everything the Queen did would have made sense. But then also it would have gave a dynamic of like you give off the princess, or we give this, or you give up Riri. And then remember what Killmonger said: if it was your father, he would have been killed her.
He would have
And
killed
blah
that
blah
bitch.
blah. Yeah,
He would have killed her and left her kids to fend for themselves.
Right. So at least he would have, because obviously Riri had a illegitimate kid at 14. But anyway, so
he's 19.
Well, I mean, she would have had it at 14.
Yeah,
anyway, but the point is that I feel like that was a rewrite and they forgot to adjust that. Because I feel like if that little change would have happened, it would have made all of that, everything else, make a lot more sense rather than how it played out when, again, he had her like dead to rights and was like, let me show you around. Also, the last beef I had too was like, old girl came in with the gat. Lupita came in with the gat, and I never saw that gun again for the rest of the movie.
Nope.
And that gun, like she killed them. Like it killed one of them. And it was like,
take it right in the
I
chest.
immediately forgot about it.
It was just like, no.
Probably got water bombed.
I mean, hell, she went back to her little
right.
Xena thing again. Like she was back with her Xena shit on the ship. And I'm like, where's the gat at? You just had the gat. Like, okay, all right.
Honestly, they all fight with spears and melee weapons. They could probably switch to guns and be a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we go to the ratings. We go to the
let's go ahead.
Right,
if you're joining us for the first time, we do a little rating system. If we really like something, we give it a head. If we think it's mid, like some bad weed, we give it a cannon. And we think it's straight doo-doo, we give it a circus. All right, so story-wise, Lisa, just go ahead and say what you got to say.
Story-wise. As in the script.
As in the plot that was in the movie.
Okay.
Just go ahead and say what you got to say.
I'll say canon.
Girl,
Ooh.
you got to say with your whole chest. Don't back off for me.
It's a canon. It's a canon.
Jason, what would you say?
I'm going to have to give it a circus, and that's a lot of Marvel films. So Wakanda Forever don't feel like it's just a you thing. That's a lot of Marvel films I would give a circus to for the storyline, but we don't go to Marvel for the storyline. We just go for the continuation of the overall storyline. So circus for me.
All right, and I will go ahead and say it's a circus too, because there are definitely some things in this movie that were rushed. And let's call it bucket. Let's call it what it is. It was rushed. Let's go to the performances. Lisa.
That includes Shuri.
That includes Shuri or not. We do whatever the fuck we feel like.
No, the performances, the acting, the dancing. Yeah, that's head all day.
Mr. Jason.
Oh, head. I mean, just Angela Bassett alone. That's yeah.
I'm gonna give it a head just for Winston Duke alone.
Okay.
Cool con.
Wow.
And let's go with something else that can leave me on a good high note. Let's go with the world building, like how the world itself looked. Hopefully this could give me something happy to go with.
Visual? You're saying
visual.
visually?
Yeah, visually.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead,
That's
Lisa.
me. Head. It's head. It was so pretty.
I second that. The film looks beautiful. You could see the budget went to very good use. It's a beautiful film.
Yeah. The one thing that I do truly love about both Black Panther films is their costume designs and the designs of the world that they build. And even here with I can't say the Atlantis. Let's just go ahead and say Atlantis. Like the way it was vertically built, I thought that was really cool, even though it was a little bit murky. And like I felt like everybody was trying to not to drown in that scene.
Yeah. They're purposely not exhaling so the bubbles wouldn't come out of their nose.
Yeah. I still thought that was really, really cool. So I would give it a head as well. So yeah, hooray! I can come out on top and feel good and not take any of this personally. I will not cry about this later. Don't worry.
Oh God.
Oh, what are we gonna get for the rating?
Let's go to our ratings. We're gonna go for a 1. You think it's absolute garbage, and it should not have been made, to a 5, which you think is the best thing since sliced bread. Lisa, go ahead and give your score. Just say it.
3.5.
Oh, wow.
Lisa gives a 3.5. A lot higher than I thought she would.
Yeah. I'm coming in at a 3, dog. I'm coming in at a 3.
Why are you guys so racist? As I said, I was never going to be partial about this movie. I am completely going to give it a 5 out of 5 just for the way it makes me feel in my scrotum. Jesus. We need to get more.
2.8 from Aaron.
We need to get more Black people on the show.
Look, I talked to a lot of Black people when I came out because I was like, I thought I had to turn in my Black card. A lot of Black people feel the way I felt. They was like, "Oh, that's some old bullshit." I was okay.
This thread, this comment thread that we have is looking a little bit too light.
You better stop. I have an array of friends, a plethora.
Yeah.
They will find you and they will hunt you.
But that was our review for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Great. If you
real quick before we move on, let's
over.
do a real quick one on the spot. Let's do a quick this or that. So anybody unfamiliar with the show, because a lot of you are newly watching this, me and Jason do a thing called this and that, this or that. So you can get with this or you can get with that.
We're going to do a rap song, guys. Get it?
Yes. We're going to do a Wakanda Forever version of this or that. So Wakanda Forever, and you choose which one you would take.
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever or Black Widow.
Wakanda Forever. Sorry,
Lisa.
Black Widow.
Okay. Wakanda Forever or Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi?
Wakanda Forever.
Shang-Chi.
Lisa.
Shang-Chi.
Wow. Wakanda Forever or the Eternals?
Ooh. Wakanda Forever. I'm sorry. I'm not partial.
Lisa.
The Eternals.
Wow. Oh, wow. That is...
I love the Eternals.
Okay.
I'm one of those people.
Wakanda Forever or Spider-Man No Way Home? Ooh, Jason, it's a hard one for you.
No, it's not. Wakanda Forever. Fuck Spider-Man.
Okay. Lisa?
There's only one Black person in the whole entire shit. Fuck that movie.
Lisa, two Black people. We've got Jamie Foxx and MJ.
Oh, Jamie Foxx isn't Black.
What? Okay. In Living Color, that gave him his Black card. Okay. All right, anyway, Lisa, we're getting off topic.
Zendaya's in there.
Yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home. That's the only Black person he counted. Spider-Man No Way Home.
I got you.
Wakanda Forever.
No Way Home.
Okay. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, or Wakanda Forever?
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
Whoa, we finally got one.
Got one.
All right. Wakanda Forever or Thor Love and Thunder?
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
I'll take freaking Blade 3.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna make this a little bit harder now. Let's do this. All right. Wakanda Forever or the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Jason only.
Wakanda Forever. Because here's the reason why. Because if Wakanda's a real place, I would have already burned my citizenship here. Me and my child would have got on the plane. We would have flown over there. I got off the plane. I'm like, I request asylum, and I would have burnt my passport.
Wow, Aaron took Thor. Wow, he really did that like Wakanda Forever. Okay, thank you all for indulging me for that game of this or that.
That was fun. We should do that again.
Thank you, Prisho. Yes, we would all go to Wakanda and we can hang out there.
Yes, I want to ride rhinoceros.
Yeah, get a pet rhinoceros.
Hold on, they changed the name of animals in Wakanda now.
Listen,
Yeah,
I drank
they
a lot
speak
of
another
wine because I
language.
was so worried about this review.
Yeah.
Okay,
They gotta
I'm
they
sorry.
gotta
I'm drinking
blackify
water
it.
now.
Yeah,
Gotta
we call
blackify the
it a
names.
horned puppy. I don't know. That's a dog. All right. With a maintenance robot and a deadly fugitive tagging along, friendship droid Sam searches for her best friend. She definitely identifies as a woman. The heir to the kingdom under siege. After watching this, that would be the synopsis for Cannon Busters, not Cannon Blasters, the anime that we watched this week. All right.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, now you know. We always do our one sentence review. Ladies first, Lisa, what is your one sentence review on this Cannon Busters anime?
Talking animals, annoying sidekick, big boobed character busting out of her top, creepy badass old man, random violence. It must be an anime.
Yes. Jason, could you go ahead and give us your one sentence review?
My one sentence review is: whoever makes the main character somebody that stinks. Nobody likes anybody that stinks.
Right. And for me, after watching this, I wanted to kick a Cannon Buster to my head and blow my brains out.
Tell us how you really felt, Jason.
I have a question. I have a question. This is like for real. Did you guys get a chance to watch it dubbed?
I just watched it. Well, I looked at the cast of the dubbed, and I was like, I should have watched this dubbed.
No, you should not have, because it's very bad. I felt racist listening to it. And I had I was like, you know what? I need to just go back to Japanese. I can't do this.
Either way, I think this is very bad.
Yeah.
The worst thing about this show, there's a lot of worse things.
I'm gonna say there's a lot of worse things.
But the worst thing for me, firstly, this is created by a black person who is very famous for doing a lot of things. LeSean Thomas, he produced Black Dynamite, the anime, Yasuke, which we did on the show, The Boondocks. He's a storyboard artist for a lot of shows. Just an overall animator's animator, right? So that would be in itself be like, oh, Jason, you would like this. And then, cool, we're in a world full of black people, right? We're in a cool Western ass world with this cool gunslinger guy as the main protagonist. The designs are cool. You should like this. And then they're like, you know what? Fuck it. It's anime. Let's just fuck all this up and do everything that we make Jason hate, which in anime, which is his whole entire fucking story, which there was no story in this.
No, none.
By the end of the season, they're back at square one, and it's this thing is so frustratingly stupid that I really wanted to end my existence from watching this.
Tell us how you really feel, Jason.
And mostly it's because of the character of Sam. But she's not the only person that I hate in this. I hate pretty much everybody in this, but she exemplifies what all the things I hate about this show is that instead of doing something that's actually humorous, they just go, "Oh no, this character's just a fucking moron."
Yeah,
isn't that funny that they're just fucking stupid? Instead of having a character who's oh, I'm privileged and a little bit naive. No, he's just a fucking moron. Or a character is like, oh, I'm tired of being killed over and over again, and that has made me a bitter and angsty person. No, he's just a fucking moron.
I feel like this show is literally the reason why people hate anime.
Yes.
It's because of this show.
Yes.
And
100%.
And because it wasn't tropey enough to be a trope, but it wasn't original enough to be original. It was trying to be too many things. It was trying to be Cowboy Bebop. It was trying to be there's another one I was thinking of. Yeah, and failing horribly. So it was just and trying to be I recently started watching, oh my God, One Piece. It was trying to be One Piece. It was trying to be all these little, these very anime shows that are popular, and it wasn't good. Like I tried so hard, and I tried listening. You know, I usually watch everything subbed, but I was
Mhm.
having a hard time paying attention
Mhm.
because it just was not holding my attention. So I was like, well, let me put it to dubbed, and I'll just listen and do other things. But it was the voice
I fell
acting
asleep.
was so bad.
I
I
fell
had
asleep at
this.
least two episodes. And for those of you who don't know, sub is when you have subtitles and it's in original
Oh yeah,
Japanese as the language they're speaking, and dubbed is when they
yeah,
take in English speaking actors and do the voice parts. For those
yeah.
who do not know, but yeah, every
Nah,
female character in
this
this is either a and they do this trope in a lot of Western stuff too, where you're born hot yesterday, where you're just hot moron that can do something really cool, and that's the only reason why they keep them around. And there's no other facilitating factor to that person's character or her personality other than they can do something really cool and she's hot, and that's what Sam was. It's like there was like there was no character growth in any of these characters. No
well,
overarching on.
I will say they attempted to do a thing at the end with
Yeah.
her, and then like you said, it kind of just was like reset. Let's turn the dial back to zero at the very end. Look, my biggest issue with this is like if you are setting out to make your main character unlikable, that's a thing.
Yes.
When you are setting out to make your character likable, but you give them things that are unlikable about him, that really just makes him unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, in my own headcanon,
See what we did there.
My thought was like, oh,
Like
Philly must stink because he keeps dying, and dead bodies stink. But that never was associated and put it together. It just seemed like, no, this motherfucker just don't shower. And then people was trying to fuck him, and I'm like, you just told him
one person tried
like,
to fuck him.
regardless, the point is, you just said he smelled like roadkill sided over, and she was like, yeah, you missed that chance. What are we talking about? And then the only interesting, okay, I'm not gonna say the only. For me, it was 3 interesting characters. One was Odin.
Odin!
The show had been about Odin.
Yes.
Odin was the man. The other one was Nine. The assassin.
Also.
I would just watch the whole show about him.
Nine.
And then the last one was the tinkering bot. I would have watched the anime about her. Like all the characters I wanted the most of is what we got the least amount of. Except for I guess she did have that one episode where all of a sudden she just flaked out on her friends. Wanted to kill
she
herself
decided,
for no reason.
They don't need me anymore. I'm gonna die.
Just because, like that was weird. But that and I hated it. Like all the characters I wanted to see. That's what we get the least amount of. And I'm like, and then I always have one thing with anime. At least if you suck, if the action's really fucking good, I'll pull. I watch a lot of Dragon Ball now. Dragon Ball Z and all that is terrible now. But that fights are so dope that you push through it. The fight scenes here weren't even that dope. It was like regular fare. I'm mad. I suggested this. I'll take the L on this one because this is some bullshit. And I'm like, Lisa, I can barely get through this. I can barely get through it.
Why didn't they have the car transform all the time?
Every episode?
When it was
why is that a thing?
Your car can turn into a Dragon Zord. Why is it not always a Dragon Zord? Like I don't
when it
understand.
Finally is useful for it to turn into a thing. It gets worked.
Yeah, it did.
Do it all the time. It's morphin time. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Like
Sam never turned into the same thing twice. She was on the first time, and it freaking Nine. It's like you think that he's joining the cast. Like, oh, I'm going to be a part of this cast and crew. No, I'm going to leave, but I'm going to show up at the very last moment and not do anything for no reason. They didn't even get to any like reason why anybody was doing anything to like the 6th or 7th episode. You finally get some backstory about like what's going on, and like you're like 6 episodes in, and then also they never explain why they were looking for him in the first place.
You're
what
right.
is the show about?
Like they're like, oh, we're looking for Philly the Kid. Why are you looking for him? Never say. And
are you looking for his badass car? Because I don't blame you. I would want it too.
And it takes them like 11 episodes to get someplace. Like, why are y'all trying to even get there? And like, they finally fucking get there, and it's like, yep, we're here.
It's funny. I just forgot all about, and I just remembered now that y'all talked about it. It was a whole angle with the king getting his throne taken over, and I'm like, oh, I forgot all about
what
that.
What did that have to do with anything?
Why is the main bad guy his son? What is and like it does a lot of crap in that I hate about anime where they're just like they'll start just talking. It's like this is why I'm doing this, but like they'll say it and then like okay, that's why you're doing this, but like that doesn't really actually explain anything. Like, like why are you so mad at him? Like what is going on?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I would have liked this if this was made by anybody else. If this was not so anime-ish, if they had maybe like, the guys from Avatar took this over and did something with it, they would have probably made this great. All the elements that they had, they could have probably gave Sam a character arc. Maybe she's not a fucking moron. Maybe she's actually just naive. Or, maybe Philly the kid, it is wanting revenge, but he realizes, oh no, these people are actually my friends and I actually like having them around, which he never seems to realize, even though he keeps hanging out with them. Like, oh my God, fuck you, Jason.
Yeah.
For making me watch this.
Only good episode was the episode when they was about to make her a hoe, because that shit was hilarious. Other than that, all this.
Oh my God, like that thing, like
yeah.
She wore off so like everything about this sucked. I hate you, Jason, for making me do this.
It was bad. I was sad. I wanted to like it so much because I love anime.
I did too.
It's one of and I was like, when it took me 4 days to get through the first 2 episodes, I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble.
And trust me, I don't like anime, and I really wanted to like this show. I really wanted to like this show. I really wanted to be like, oh, this is another anime I can get into. No.
I think we should do Erased. That one's so good. Let's talk about. We'll talk about it later.
Okay,
but that's
all right. Well, we still got to do what we normally do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're not done with this one.
Yeah, we're not done with this yet. So, let's go with our rating system. If it's a head, you means you liked it. If it's a circus or canon, it's.
And we could just notice that all of it's a circus. It's all a circus. Let's just go to our number rating and call it a day.
Yeah, we're wasting way more time on it than we should.
Yep.
All right, Lisa, what do you give it? 1 out of 5.
1.
All right, she gave it a 1. Jason.
0.5.
All right, Jason gave it a 0.5. I give it a -5. Fuck you, yes! Making me watch this shit.
We don't even get an applause for it because none of us did the same number. Dang.
No, we don't have one for when we all give a shit. We don't have
yeah. I gotta come up with one. Okay. Like maybe like a clown
like a picture of Yuki. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Yeah, I never.
Okay.
Can we give next week a break on the anime, please?
No.
Can we watch a regular
cartoon? Good
well,
for you,
we're taking
Jason.
a break anyway, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead. The week after.
We watch freaking Adventure Time or something. I don't know.
Erased
I love
good,
Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. After his grandmother is killed in a mafia hit, Daryl, Damon Wayans, fashions a bulletproof overcoat to wear over his red long johns, becoming Blankman, a superhero without any superpowers, save for some inventive tinkering skills. And that's the end of the thing. Yeah. That's the end of the If you don't know, that was the synopsis, or half of one that I found on internet about Blankman, the 1994 seminal classic starring Damon Wayans. So, as we always do, we give it a 1-sentence review. Let's go, Lisa. What's your 1-sentence review?
It hasn't aged as well as Damon Wayans, but it still hits.
Jason?
I like that. My 1-sentence review of Blankman is, this shows you what Black excellence gets you. Damn near shot.
And for me, it's like, they're the 5 greatest superheroes of all time. Blankman, 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 and Blankman.
Because he spits hot fire.
So I'll start this off. This was one of my favorite movies watching growing up as a kid because my parents let me watch anything as long as they had black people in it. So
Nice.
So did mine.
Yeah. So I had to see this movie like 1,000 times as a child. And like watching this again, it still hits the same. We hit the same show button at the same time. It still hits the same. Like I still laughed. There's a lot of things I'm like, wow, I can't believe they got away with that. You know, the casual sexism, the homophobia with the like, you're a gay man, you're in San Francisco, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it was a 90s different time. Whatever happened to David Allen Greer, man? He was funny.
Oh,
He was
he's been in stuff.
funny.
Yeah.
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 Shoot me. Shoot
Shoot
me. I was like,
It
can we
had
talk
been
for a minute that
forever.
Blankman's on the spectrum, right? Like, that's like a
No,
thing
no,
we
no,
know
no,
now,
no,
right?
that's not on the spectrum.
I mean, this dude was getting like, I mean, I've had a painful erection before, but it was every time for this guy.
What's up?
Like, he was a
This
little
would-
off, right?
I will not put this in the list of accurate or good portrayals of people on the spectrum.
Oh, it's not. It's a terrible portrayal of it.
This will not go on that list of things that you can look forward to if you're on the spectrum. All right.
I love the what do they call it, like slapstick comedy. You kind of don't really have that anymore, so it's like almost like the old Batman and Robin campy, like you're hearing the swooshes and the punches. But I like laughed out loud whenever David Allen Greer was like talking to his belt buckle.
Yeah.
and he's like talking to David Wayans, and he's just like, I'll go to the bathroom and I'll talk to you. And I'll
then
play
Robin
with
Givens
you in
comes
the
back, she's like,
bathroom. And the girl
I
comes
thought
back
about
with a card.
Yeah, I thought about it. And I put on Twitter, see what you made me do, Susan. And your husband was like, "Who's Susan?" And there's a line.
I know. I
where,
told him. You've seen that movie so many times. I'm surprised he didn't remember. He's like, "Oh."
where Blankman is out there fighting a pimp, and he's like, "I'm gonna be sure she." And Blankman goes, "Well, then smack me around and call me Susan." And he goes and he hits him. Like, ah! Oh,
it definitely, watching this movie, because we have the luxury of seeing how the future pans out for everybody. Watching this movie, like, it's no wonder that like Scary Movie was a hit and White Girls was a hit. And these are from the same brain trust of the Wayans. And like, this movie is like fucking hilarious. And like, it's hilarious. And you can tell that the people involved in this know this shit's funny, because a couple of scenes you can almost see them break a little bit, but they keep going through. And it's just a fun movie that I'm kind of glad that we couldn't find Meteor Man, because Meteor Man has
it's a little bit more depressing.
But I think I had right. But I had way more fun watching this. I mean, fucking J5. Oh my God, I forgot about J5, right? That alone should have got that man into MIT. That alone, like,
not only in his bulletproof. There's Jason, I want to know if you noticed this, but like in the late 80s and early 90s, there was this like explosion of black cinema of like all sorts of different things, whether it's be Boys in the Hood, and we had Blankman, Boomerang, all sorts of movies. And then like I want to say like the year 2000 hit and it all dried up. Have does this feel like something that happened to you, or you feel like something experienced that we just did not feel like? And that's why like something like Wakanda Forever is like so like breathtaking, or even just the regular Black Panther was so like refreshing, because it felt like for a while like we weren't getting anything unless it was like a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Maybe it was like Tyler Perry and
do you have that same feeling, or am I just going crazy?
No, you're not going crazy. So, and I'm about to put on the scholarly history here. All right. For the sake, yes, you are correct. The thing is that it's always been a known thing in Hollywood and entertainment, where that if your company or your station or something's failing, go black.
Go black.
Because we support each other a lot. So not even think
Fox
about movies, think
black.
about exactly.
UPN
I would say think about
started
sitcoms, all the sitcoms and stuff that we had growing up, especially in the 90s to where we are now. It's because, again, I mean, Fox was built on the back of like In Living Color and Married with Children and The Simpsons. Like, people forget it was those three shows, and then later on they got Martin and other things like that.
They had Martin. They had Rock. They had
Living Single. Yeah. We could go on and on. So the same thing in the movie industry. A lot of these movies, if you look at it, were made by up and coming production studios. A lot of those movies that we talk about, I think like New Line Cinema had them.
Yeah.
And New Line Cinema wasn't a big dog on the block. And then they got all these hits with these black movies that they didn't have a lot of budget. And then New Line Cinema became bigger, and then they started making way crappier movies, and then they kind of merged and fell out.
Touchstone.
Which again, yes, because they were going down when they made Blade. That's why we got the third one. But anyway, but yes, it is a thing, and it is a thing in a known trope. I think now they've realized that where we were funding our own movies to do this stuff, and then getting them to get pulled in by major companies because they didn't have much risk because we would fund our own stuff.
Yeah, it was already
now the vehicle, right. Now the vehicle is, oh, we'll give you this kind of money to go make this movie for us now. And I think that's why you're seeing less of it because, I mean, let's be real. Studios not trying to give out money at all for movies they don't think are bankable, but let alone movies with people of color. I mean, think about Crazy Rich Asian. Yeah. Like, they weren't trying to make that movie. Yeah. They made it and they saw the money they got, and then they're scrambling to figure out how to make a sequel or something off of it because they saw the money can make. So it's a thing that's probably never going to end in Hollywood until more people like us are in those seats to greenlight those things. But we know that, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen, man. That's why we need a real Wakanda, man. We need some vibranium to sell a piece off and make all our movies. Like,
right in my passport, right there. Jason, you got a job to do. I'm going to go over there and witch doctor in Wakanda. Best believe.
Let's watch out for them water bombs, bro.
You know who's in this? Jason Alexander is in this movie.
Yes.
This movie is so 90s. Like, it's so 90s. And I'm sitting there like, I can't believe they got George Costanza in here.
Yeah. Jason Alexander, which I don't know, he's in a bald cap for some reason. Yeah. And it's obvious bald cap.
When he's like pouring, the freaking mobster is pouring the coffee in his lap, and he's like, I'm in this chair for a reason.
I'm nuts.
Yeah, and I love like the end when they had the giant banner. There was like something like "Thank you, Blankman," and then in the very corner was like a little added piece of paper that says "and the other guy."
Other guy.
Yeah,
and I just love like there was like Blankman and some other guy.
Yeah.
Like, save the day. Thank you, Blankman.
Yeah, I love the Wayans like the Wayans family. I've always been I grew up on, In Living Color and all this. Oh, just love it. I love the Wayans brothers. I love Damon Wayans. He is my favorite.
I mean, he's
my favorite. And did you guys see the little baby Damon Jr.?
Oh yeah, Damon Wayans Jr. Young Kevin.
Yeah, he looks so. He looks.
I was like, whoa. Because they would make sense because he was obviously a child.
And he looks so much like his daddy.
Yeah,
like,
they're identical twins.
He's probably a clone. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Damon Wayans is the second best Wayans. Obviously,
who's the first?
Sean's the first.
John
is not the first. Kim is the first, obviously.
No, he's so funny. He's so funny. And that's why he's the one who wrote the Scary Movie 1 and 2, right? And then his brothers just acted in it. Or
actually, if it wasn't for Keenan Ivory, ain't none of them been anywhere.
Yeah.
So
it was Keenan Ivory?
Is the first.
Yeah.
And then Damon. And then Marlon.
Well, I knew Keenan Ivory was the oldest. I just always thought Damon was the funny.
Damon Jr. Marlon.
Okay.
Whoa.
Let's stop him. Let's just stop.
Now you're being offensive now.
Someone just.
Damon Jr.'s good.
I agree, but he ain't that good. He ain't.
What's Marlon Wayans been in the last, besides Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that he was excellent in?
He was in
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was like, share.
that he was just like, whoa, why is Marlon Wayans here? Why is he acting so great? Like, what is going on here?
He was in The Heat with what's her name? Sandra Bullock. That's like probably 8 years old now.
Oh, what's the face? The Melissa McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you not a knock?
Are you? Johnny Depp for 21 Jump Street. Am I speaking fucking Chinese?
I mean, what does Damian Wayans Jr. had? What Let's Be Cops, which was hilarious.
Yes. New Girl. That's all you people love that show.
Yeah, but that was a while back too.
Wow.
All you people love that shit. Look, shout out to New Girl. You had two black people on the show at once with the Indian woman like that. That's very progressive.
You know,
Very,
And
very
it was a
progressive.
Most of the
woman-led
audience-
show.
let's just be
Yes.
honest. Most of the audience
Yes.
did not notice there was two different black dudes.
Oh
No, didn't they even make a joke? I think
I think
they
so.
joked
Yeah, they
about
did.
it at one point. Like, isn't that Coach? And they're like, no.
no, right. Winston with his Allen Iverson braids.
Winston.
Actually, you know what?
Oh,
I'll give Damon Wayans Jr. some respect because the show that he left New Girl to do actually was a really good show. It just didn't last. I saw it on Hulu a couple of years ago.
It was a serious one.
I can't think of it. It was the chick that was in the last season of Scrubs was on it too. I can't think of the name of that movie
I
now.
don't watch season 9
Fine,
of
I'm
Scrubs.
Googling.
You are correct. No, it did one.
The chick from the last season of Scrubs. You want the one with Dave Franco? No one watched that.
Yeah. Franco got on that show real quick too. He was like 3 episodes. Peace.
He was in the other guys. Damon Wayans Jr.
Yes,
with
he was.
Marky
Yes,
Mark.
he was the other cop. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh, I can't think of the name of that show now. That was in because it was actually really good. I think he only got like 2 seasons though. But that's
And
when
that's
he
why
left
he had to go back to New
do.
Girl.
Yeah.
Because he got fired. He was like, I need a check. You know, my residuals from Blankman don't come in.
I'm glad he was waiting or sitting around waiting on that too. Happy Endings. That's what it was called.
Oh,
Happy
yeah, I
Endings.
remember that show.
Yeah. It was like Friends, but it had a black person on it.
For once.
Oh, he was in Big Hero 6.
See,
never knew
that's
that.
why he's up there, guys. Y'all trying to put Sean over Damon Wayans Jr.
Yeah. No.
Sean was in White Girls and White
No,
Girls.
we're going with
is
Marlon. I'm
superior
taking Marlon over
film.
James Wayne Jr.
He was
I'm
in,
thinking
he
Marlon
was
over,
in
not
all
Sean.
the scary movies, Sean.
He
He was
was
in
It's-
the thing that put honestly Living Color obviously put the Wayans brothers on the map, but the Wayans brothers show.
Oh,
Come on.
classic.
We're brothers.
Yeah.
We're
Happy
happy and
Endings.
we're
Singing-
living.
Singing and we're colored. Da-da-da-da.
Give
me
us a high five.
I realized all this time we really haven't reviewed anything on Blankman. So
It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great.
I think we did a review on Blankman and we said it was great.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah.
yeah.
It gets
5
there.
out of 5.
It's
I don't
amazing.
know.
Yeah, it's so funny. There are parts of it that have not aged well, like anything from the 90s. But I think it's
Yeah.
because the 90s was such a like turning point in culture, and like they were trying to figure out what you could and couldn't say, and they were trying to push envelopes and being super racist and being super sexist and being super homophobic. But they were trying to, but they weren't trying to do that. They were trying to,
That's also be 100 that on Living Color, Marlon Wayans and David Allen Greer got famous for their men on films.
Yes. Hated it. Which was such a great
Hated
skit. Great skit.
I mean, that's probably why they were putting this movie together, because they worked so well. But
Right.
you watch that, it'll
now I just want to
Funny
go
thing-
watch a Living Color.
two
Funny thing is,
cishet dudes.
David Allen Greer was never a comedian. So when he started on In Living Color, that was his first acting of anything doing comedy.
So what was
like-
it beforehand?
He's like,
Or-
I don't want to say he's Juilliard, but he's like a profound, educated actor. And like
He's done Shakespeare and
right.
Cambridge.
And then when he got on Living Color, it was like his first comedy role. And like, yeah, now that's all we know him for is for comedy, because I don't see him anything else but that.
I mean, we also have to always put respect on Living Color, because if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have your what's his face? What's that white dude's name?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Or your Jamie Foxxes. And yeah.
Jamie Foxx keeps getting lumped in with the white guys.
Look,
Oh,
Jamie
Lord.
Foxx changed his name in order
was
to
it?
get. It was like Eric
Nelson. Bishop or something.
Bishop,
Eric Bishop. Yeah.
And he changed his name to something unisex, so that because he realized that only women comedians are going on first. So he changed his name to something that was unisex or something that sounded feminine, so he could get on there and like probably push some girls out the way.
Ew.
And then he also did Wanda. So let's also
Oh, such a great character.
Doesn't hold up. Great shit. Doesn't hold up.
It holds up. It's just not the way you want it to hold up.
It's like, why are you laughing at this? Because it's funny, and I'm a
it's
bad
hilarious.
person.
Oh, I don't go that far. I think I'm a great person for laughing at it. It is what it is. It's a bygone era, and comedy will never be the same now because part of comedy is a little bit of offense, and you just can't offend anybody anymore. And I'm not caping for offending people. I'm just saying that historically, comedy is usually making fun of the comedian and his experiences and how that works in society. And you just can't use the society part anymore. And that kind of.
So we're going to talk about Dave Chappelle right here, guys.
Talk about comedians. How about seeing Arsenio Hall? Right?
Oh yeah, dude.
I forgot about him, but I used to.
Dude, there used to be a point in the 90s where Arsenio Hall was the biggest thing on television.
Yeah.
Like he was bigger
as soon as I
than,
saw, I was like, "Whoa, that's right!" Yeah,
like he was taking viewers away from Jay Leno and from David Letterman, and he was the biggest thing on nighttime talk show television. And then he only lasted for like 2 years, and then he was gone. And
and the crazy thing is, he would put guests on this show that couldn't get onto the other shows. And but we talked about it
cultural moments of all time is when our former president at the time a presidential candidate came on his show and played saxophone, and that's probably why he got elected, honestly.
Oh, it is that and Ross Perot, but yes, that's why he got elected. Because Clinton doing that. I mean, pretty much how Biden lived off the being with Obama.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton has lived off so long until recently of just doing that shit. It's been more recent that we've been like, fuck
Bill Clinton because of that shit. Even though Bill Clinton put more black folk in jail than Reagan ever did.
For real.
We were calling him the first black president for the longest time. And it was because this Joker went on Arsenio Hall and played the sax and was a cool ass dude. And we was like, oh, we like this cat.
Yeah.
And we ain't know what we was walking into.
It's like, we about to put all y'all motherfuckers in jail. Both of me and my wife.
Good for him. Good for all of them.
He did it. He did his thing. But I guess that comes to everybody's favorite part of the show, which is the ending. Especially the Elvis fans love the ending.
Wow.
We get to stop talking shit about Elvis. Fuck that dude. He's a pedophile. Sorry, Mr. Vandella, my 5th grade teacher, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, because you're probably at this point no longer living. But he was a huge Elvis fan.
Dark. I have a cousin, second cousin, not my cousin. It's like my dad's cousin who was like an Elvis impersonator.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Like for real.
In 5th grade, we took off an entire day of school for Elvis's birthday.
What?
Like he did not teach anything. He was like, it's Elvis's birthday. We're having fun today. And we listened to Elvis music and did an Elvis dance contest. And I won, surprisingly.
I mean, we know why you won.
Because I was one of 2 black kids in the entire class. Yes, that's why I won.
You were one of 2 people that had rhythm. And that's why you won.
And it was funny because the other black kid got second. I was like, what? I beat him?
You realize that he was only half black, so continue.
But took off an entire day for Elvis's birthday. Great teaching, Mr. Vandella. That was great teaching. He should probably pay royalties to black people.
It's fine.
Elvis or your
created
teacher?
Both.
Okay.
All right, but Lisa, do you have any closing words for our?
Hold on, did Jason just was closing the show and decided to take a drink?
Yes, we're just sitting there. That big. In case y'all don't know, that big heavy pause. Jason just had to stop to get some dew in his life.
I gotta get some dew in my life. I run on the dew.
Jason ain't a black dude for real. That's like the most blackest thing you've ever done on this show. It's like, I'm hosting, but my throat's a little parched.
I can't do this. It's got up in here. Go ahead, close the show, Lisa. Just say something nice to the people.
I was so salty last time. I feel like Oh wait, did we do the? We rated it. Oh yeah, we all gave it.
Yeah,
head.
we rated
5
it.
out of
We rated
5.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. Oh my gosh, I thought about what I was gonna say this week, but I can't even remember. Oh,
She wrote it down.
spay and neuter your animals. Adopt, don't shop. Holidays are coming up, and it's really hard on a lot of people. So make sure you check on your strong friends because they're probably going to be the ones who need the most help
Or
because they're
send
not
your
going to ask
black
for it.
friends money. I'm sorry. Jason, you have any closing words?
Again, thanks everybody for listening and watching. Our numbers are growing every single week. And I know it's because of Lisa and her friends, and it seems like they're spreading the word, and Jason and his friends as well are spreading the word.
Two of
so I
my
really
friends were in
appreciate
there.
that.
Even though one of my friends is directly connected to Lisa.
Yes. Remember, next week we will not have a live show, if I'm correct.
No live show next week.
No live show
Correct.
next week.
But
It's
I
on the
will have
calendar.
content up. Yeah, I will have content up though. So, because I think we have the X-Men fan cast that me and Jason did, and I got some Be Real stuff. So we will have stuff and content out to keep you guys rocking with us. But yes, no live show next week. We're going to enjoy all the foods and festivities.
Oh, don't forget about the book club.
Don't
We're
forget
going to
about
be doing that
the week after
when we
next.
come back.
Yeah.
When we come back.
30th.
I think I might have convinced them to do Erase. So everyone just start watching it. It's on Netflix. It's amazing. It's about a serial killer.
Yeah.
So
good book. So as always, y'all, be kind, be considerate, and tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can help it or if you can afford it. Jared is a piece of shit, but I love him. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Peace. And Titanic. I don't see how you haven't seen Titanic.
Man, fuck the Titanic.